Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh, what a special day for Minnesotan accents, let me tell ya.
Oh, we're getting into it.
Yep.
Today is a very special day because we have a very special fan pick.
Indeed.
Catherine K has requested the topic of Minnesotan murderers.
Y'all. These people are fucked up.
Minnesotans are fucked up.
Who knew that murderers would be so odd?
Yeah. Oh, mine's real odd.
Yeah.
But I've got to come clean.
Oh, yeah?
He's not actually Minnesotan.
Okay, well, I got the fan pick, so you know my
But
shit's
he's a
gonna be
murderer.
dark as fuck.
Good. I knew what the fan pick was. I knew I couldn't cover it. And all the other, quote unquote, good options, we've already covered. Weepy voice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't, by the grace of God, we don't have a ton of, serial killers, high-profile murderers. It's just, it's mostly our caps.
Yeah.
And speaking of caps and fan pickers...
Release the files.
A, release the fucking files. B, the Epstein files, for anyone who does not know what the files are. B, we appreciate you as fan pickers. We appreciate you as listeners. We know that we have listeners from all different places on the aisle. But that is not an invitation for listeners, no matter how much money you may or may not have given us on platforms that may or may not even really exist for us anymore. That's not an invitation into my Threads account to be spreading, Nance, your racist, transphobic, anti-Semitic, white supremacy bullshit all over my posts. And so, just a fair warning, I will screenshot your replies, not just on my post, but any of your public replies that have shown your vile behavior all over the internet, and I will share them, not only with the world, but possibly your employer, if that information is also public. So maybe, just maybe, you should shut the fuck up and work on your inner healing and your wellness and fix your racist bullshit and not ruin my life or the lives of the lovely people that I communicate with on the internet with your bullshit. So I just, just wanted to put that out there. It's just because you gave us money at some point does not mean there's a safe space carved out for you in our presence to be a fucking white supremacist Looney Tune. You're not paying your way. You're not paying your free pass. It's not happening. Not on my fucking page.
No, go somewhere else, Nance.
I was floored when she was like, I followed your website for a long time. And I was like, okay, Nance, let's get you back to bed. She was a fan picker. Girl, bye. Goodbye, Kyle.
Goodbye, Kyle. Show yourself out, Kyle.
I can't. Honestly, I've been loving it because it's been deeply hilarious. But also, that's because I sit at the highest seat of privilege. So the shit she's saying is not going to offend me. But it offends a lot of other fucking people, marginalized people. Don't fucking do that shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Fuck you, Nance. But thank you, Catherine. And no, I'm not well. And that is what I did with my COVID time because I had COVID all fucking week.
And now while you were talking, I've blown up all my windows to so large and I can't figure out how to shrink them again.
It's giving Justin's phone with his jitterbug font because he can't fucking read his screen.
I know.
We love
I
you,
typically
Justin.
have mine at 125 though, just to be totally transparent.
Me too. That's the best. That's the best level.
Yeah. Maybe 150 if we're doing ads.
Yeah.
You gotta read real close.
Fair.
I'm blind. You're sick.
Yep.
We're
not
fine.
well.
No.
Eat the hat. Anyway.
Super not.
Minnesotan Murderers.
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 I almost texted you to make sure that you read that correctly.
Well, I had the fan pick, so I was in good hands regardless.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You're the one
I
who
would've had your back.
misunderstood the assignment.
Listen, I knew this person had strong ties with Minneapolis.
Uh-huh.
So I dove right in.
I'm a Minnesotan.
Got a big
and
old chub for it. And then I realized, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about him anyway.
I'm a Minnesotan and I wasn't born here. So if you're saying if I commit a murder, it wouldn't be a Minnesotan murder, it would.
Yes, and this guy was a pathological liar. So who even knows where he's from?
Oh my God, is it Trump?
No, it's the other pathological liar.
Oh, okay. Great. I love it. I can't wait.
Well, before we get into all these Minnesotans and maybe not Minnesotans, Amanda, please tell us what our wine crime pairing is for Minnesotan Murderers.
Well, we're of course going to shout out some Minnesotans because you got to know, Minnesota, talk about a leader in craft brewing in the United States. And frankly, I swear, especially in Northeast Minneapolis, you throw a fucking rack in any direction, you're hitting a brewery. All right?
Bro.
You could stand on like Broadway and Central and spin around 3 times and you're going to fucking find a brewery in every goddamn direction. It's a little much, but we've got great water. It's not our fault. And it is awesome. It is awesome for the beer lovers out there. But a not as awesome reality is that this is a very white male dominated field. There aren't like a ton of women in craft brewing that are on an ownership level. And there are certainly not very many black folks on an ownership level in the craft brewing industry. So I wanted to do something a little different this week to uplift black craft brewers and highlight one of the only black-owned craft breweries in all of Minnesota.
Damn.
It's called MetroNOME in St. Paul. Metro, METRONOME. And they have my heart from the jump because it was founded by music nerds, hence MetroNOME, MetroNOME. So Bill Edens and Matt Engstrom came together to create this. Bill is the music director emeritus of the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra and a frequent guest conductor of major orchestras throughout the world.
Damn.
Engagements have included the New York Philharmonic. Ever fucking heard of it?
Yes.
Yes. St. Louis Symphony, Philadelphia Orchestra, and the symphony orchestras of San Francisco, Boston, Minnesota, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Detroit, Dallas, Baltimore, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Houston, and Los Angeles and Buffalo Philharmonics. This guy,
wow.
Yeah, incredibly accomplished. Matt, his little co-founder, is a sax player and was a hobby brewer who met Bill in 2015 through youth baseball coaching.
Oh.
Can you get any more wholesome and cute than that shit?
So
I know.
wholesome.
It's so fucking wholesome. It's so cute. I love it. And discovered their mutual interest in the miracles that happen when yeast, grain, and hops meet each other. They started collaborating on their brewing efforts, and now the two of them have turned that hobby into a money-making venture. And also, on top of having like a beautiful and successful tap room, the proceeds, like they share the proceeds from their tap room into local music development community programs.
Dang.
I know.
This is the cutest thing.
I love them so much. So their brewery is awesome. It hosts tons of events with live music and dance, and their beers hold these adorable, like, little quippy music nerd names. So there's one in particular that I want to highlight because I love a sour. I know that that's like not up everybody's alley, but they're my fave. So they have a lingonberry sour that's called the Jam Session Sour. That clocks in at 5.6% ABV. Yeah, it's going to be a little sweet, but I don't know. I like a sweeter beer. I like a sour beer. I love a sour. I'm never going to say no to a sour. This has like a way lower hop flavor, but if you want something really hoppy, you can reach for their Atonal IPA. You could go, if you want something a little bit more dark and a little roasted, you could go for the Cole Porter.
Yeah. COAL Cole.
Yes. They
cute.
also have a seasonal version of the Cole Porter that's a creme brulee Cole Porter.
Oh, God. That sounds really good.
It sounds so fucking good. But yeah, they have a ton of really cute, awesome, delicious beers. They do these really cool events. They pour back into their community. I'm just like obsessed with them. So I want to encourage everybody to check out MetroNOME Brewery, and you can check out their website at METRONOME brewery.com. They also have a very clever little map that you can put in like your zip code, and then it'll find stores in your area that carry the beer. So if you can't make it into the brewery, you can go pick it up locally. And hopefully this will be a call to action for more local liquor stores to carry their brand, because their beer looks phenomenal, and what they're doing with their space, and to like be business owners that are involved in, you know, community care and like providing essential music programs to children. That's definitely a beer that all of us should be fucking drinking. So cheers to MetroNOME. I am still recovering from COVID, so I have the world's largest bottle of water.
Bigger than mine? Compare it to your head.
I think they might be about the same. This is compared to my head. Oh, yep.
This is 64 ounces.
What do we got? Mine doesn't say.
We'll call it 64.
They kept this information. Release the files. Release the numbers.
Who knows how many ounces it is?
It's at least 64 ounces. No, it's not full. Otherwise, I would not be lifting it with so much ease. But that's what I'm drinking.
I do love your necklace.
Yes, Lucy came up behind me and gently...
At the Titanic Museum.
Gently placed this around my neck at the end of the Titanic Museum. I had just come through weeping.
I waited for her at the bottom of the escalators. Like Jack and Rose.
Bitch. It fulfilled something in me that I didn't know needed to be fulfilled. And I fucking love it. I love my heart of the ocean. Thank you so much. You're such a good friend.
You're welcome. It's genuine sapphire. Also, I got one for myself so we could be matching, and it fell off the sink and hit the bathroom floor, and the real sapphire popped out, so I have to glue it back in.
The very real sapphire just needs to be glued back in. It's fine, you guys. It's going to be fine. Everybody's fine.
Just got to get my Gorilla Glue.
God bless it. All right, while Lucy grabs her Gorilla Glue, should we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors?
Yes.
And if you don't want to hear a word from our sponsors, come join us on Uncorked, where you can get these audio episodes ad-free. And now we are also offering for Uncorked members ad-free video episodes. So this is a very
We heard
good
your
time.
desperate cries.
Yep, we heard that you wanted them, and you know what? You can have them. So you can still find us completely free on YouTube with our ads. But if you want to give $5 a month, you can get the audio and the video version ad-free, as well as our monthly happy hours and all of our very fun bonus content. We are doing it for you, so come enjoy it. Come over it.
Come over us.
Please come. All right, we'll be right back.
I keep hearing more and more news about microplastics and like the whole credit card fun fact.
Yeah.
That you eat a credit card's worth of plastic every week. And I'm an anxious individual. So I would like to curb the plastics that I'm consuming as much as possible. And the number one thing I've done around my house to limit my microplastic intake is just switching the stuff I use every day. And that's why I've made the switch to Blue Land across all the cleaning products around my house. Their products meet the highest standard of clean. They're effective yet gentle on my family and planet. Blue Land was also named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's formulas are 100% microplastic free, made with certified clean ingredients, free from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals that are safe to use around my cats, my kids, my house plants, myself. I love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets my house clean.
Yeah, that's the big part. Like, obviously, I want to have, easy access to cleaning supplies that are easy to refill. They cost less. They're better for the environment. They're better for our home. But it also needs to work. Like, we need it to be a good cleaning product, because I go hard on things like my dishes, my toilet, my laundry.
Your tub with your
my
blue
tub.
hair.
Yes, it's a lot. And honestly, Blue Land products, they're independently tested to perform alongside major brands, and also are free from dyes, bleach, and harsh chemicals. I really was skeptical when I first switched to Blue Land, and that was like 4 years ago, and I have never looked back. Certified by EPA Safer Choice certified, they're EWG verified, Leaping Bunny, USDA, Biobase, B Corp, and Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. I am obsessed. My top 3. I've got the dishwasher tablets. I've got a load running right now. I am really bad at pre-cleaning my dishes. Guess what? The dishwasher tablets do a really good job. They are proven to perform on baked on and burnt on stains. You don't need a rinse aid. I love the laundry tablets. They are proven to lift the toughest stains from grass stains to food stains. And you know your girl's getting food stains. So I could definitely stand behind that. And those toilet tablets, I know those are Lucy's favorite. These work on
my favorite.
They're so good and they smell so good. Mm-hmm. And they're proven to work on a range of stains, including rust, mineral deposits, limescale, and hard water. So if you are facing any of those issues, like, check out Blue Land. They're gonna help you out.
Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/gals. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/gals for 15% off. That's blueland.com/gals to get 15% off. Fall is here, folks. And with it comes cooler nights, heartier meals, and the craving for something warm and satisfying and filling, and maybe soup. And that is where HelloFresh comes in, bringing you comforting chef-designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. This season, they've taken things to the next level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a whole new way to do dinner.
Yo, the recipes are so good. And it's really exciting to hear that they have this bigger menu now because HelloFresh has doubled its menu. So now you can choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. I just saw one that I really want to try. I think that you would love it too. It's the Spanish one-pan chicken. It's got chorizo and bell peppers. It's like over a bed of fluffy rice.
Yum.
It looks absolutely exquisite. And, you know, if you're in a household like me where there's only 2, it's great for cooking like a little bit of meal prep that allows you to have leftovers. It's so good. You can dig into bigger portions that will keep everyone satisfied, or like me, the leftover queen, keep you fed for a couple of days. It's also healthier. You can feel great with an even healthier menu filled with high protein and veggie-packed recipes. My doctor has informed me I need to eat more vegetables.
You can do it, honey.
I can do it, and HelloFresh can help. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies in them. And you know what? Dang it, it's tasty. You can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost, and there's 3 times more seafood on the menu now at no extra cost. I love that they're, boosting up their seafood options. It's such an awesome option. Discover new seasonal produce each week, from snap peas to stone fruit to corn on the cob and more. They're going to do the creative part for you so you don't have to think too much about what's for dinner. And you can just get in the kitchen and start cooking and wow yourself and your family and your friends with these incredible recipes that are so easy to make.
The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/gals10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/gals10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life.
Okay. Hi, we're back. Hello. Hi, we're back. Hi. So, Lucy, what do you have in store for us for Minnesotan Murderers?
Not a Minnesotan murderer.
You've made that clear.
So I really thought we had talked about this guy before today, but I searched the drive and I didn't find anything about it. So maybe we've just talked around him.
Okay.
So buckle up. Today I will be telling you about Andrew Cunanan, which I always read as Cunanan. I don't like the way his last name is pronounced. So I will be referring to him as Andrew for most of this.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay, so like I said, he's not Minnesotan, but a lot of his crimes are tied to Minnesota. And like I said, got too excited about the prospect of covering him before I realized he wasn't Minnesotan. It's working. We're making it work.
You know what, Lucy? It's your show. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I did talk about the homunculus for
You
sports.
sure did.
You know what? You're right. Also, I'm 38 and I can do whatever I want. I can
Goddamn
drive a
right.
car. I can rent a car.
I could have a baby. And did. She did, not me.
Oh my God, I did. I forgot about that too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew Philip Cunanan was born on August 31st, a Virgo, 1969. Nice. The youngest of 4 kids in National City, California, Minnesota.
Woo! Beautiful National City, California, Minnesota.
You might even meet a few celebrities. His dad, his name was Modesto. He went by Pete. He was Filipino-American. His mother was Italian-American. And I only mention this because the question of his identity is so, well, he makes it a very slippery topic. So he's sort of like ethnically ambiguous.
Sure. I bet the food in that house was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really, really Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet the food was so good. Now that I can't stop thinking about that. Okay. At the time of Andrew's birth, his father was serving in the Navy in Vietnam, so he wasn't like even there for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, he's the youngest. And his dad was pretty conscientious about appearances. He was very into like prestige.
Okay.
Pete
Prestige
wasn't,
worldwide.
Yes. He was strict, but there's not anything that points to violence in Andrew's childhood. In fact, he was pretty fucking spoiled by his parents. Like they liked him more than his siblings, seemingly.
Oh, damn. Well, yeah, the baby of the family. The baby boy.
And he was very like charming and gregarious and very smart. They just thought he was like gonna really do a lot with his life.
Really go places. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One source said that his parents let him have the home's primary bedroom where he had his own bathroom. Which, like, luck.
Very Regina George.
I know.
I like theirs better, so I made them switch. Okay, girl.
I think they also might have bought him a sports car, but again, with this guy, fiction and reality sort of blur.
Oh, right.
Sometimes.
He's a pathological liar. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
People could lie to me so much. A, I'm so gullible. And B,
Look who you're talking to.
I forget so many things. Like, I'm just here to tell you, with me, you can get away with it.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Easily gaslit.
Easily. It's kind of a miracle I'm not MAGA. I'm so impressionable.
Yeah. You're just extreme in your own right.
It's true.
I think also because they were living in a fairly affluent community, they wanted their kids and Andrew in particular to like represent the family appropriately. So when he was in 3rd grade, Andrew had an IQ of 147, making him incredibly bright for his age. A former classmate said he had a very preppy way about him. Back then, so like when he was in like 7th grade, a lot of us hadn't developed the style yet, but he had the polo shirts, the Argyle vests, the chinos, everything just a little bit better than anyone else. He was the type of guy who puts dimes in his penny loafers.
He's a Minnetonka kid.
He's an Edina kid. As a teenager, he was accepted into the Bishop's School, which was considered one of the top prep schools in the country. It's like lots of rich kids went there. So he's putting on his airs because his family isn't particularly wealthy.
No. Did you say his parents immigrated to the United States from, to say, Italy and Venezuela? Or are they not first generation Americans? Are they like maybe 2nd or 3rd generation Americans? It doesn't matter. I was just curious.
I think his dad is a first generation Filipino American.
Excuse me, sorry.
And his mom is Italian American. I don't know about her.
Sure.
And we'll get to why I think he was probably first generation.
Okay.
Andrew had a reputation for being bright and talkative, but also a prolific liar. And he had friends, and he consistently had big groups of friends, but they all just kind of knew that he was full of it, but they just sort of humored him because...
Yeah, he was a good time, and they hung out to party, but they weren't like going to him with their problems or... You know, it probably wasn't like a deep friendship because there isn't like trust there because he was kind of yanking their chain most of the time.
Yeah, it seems like in general he was pretty well liked though. Like he knew a ton of he had a lot of friends. So he lied about his family and how rich they were. He said that they owned a pineapple plantation and drove Rolls Royces. He was also very adept at changing his appearance according to what he felt was the most attractive or like profitable at any given moment.
And when was this? Was the internet readily available in homes yet at this time?
This was like mid 80s.
Got it. Okay. So what by today's standards would be easily verifiable information might have been less so at that time.
Yes, but he also like procured evidence of his lies. Like down the road, he lies about having had a wife and children, and he has like photos of them.
How odd!
Even though he did not have a wife or children. It goes really deep. He was out as gay when he was in high school, and unfortunately, it was at this early age that he began having relationships and engaging in sex work with wealthy older men.
Okay.
After graduating high school, he enrolled at UC San Diego, where he majored in American history. Look. In 1988, when he was 19 and a freshman in college, his father was allegedly caught or about to be caught embezzling $106,000 at his stockbroker job. So he abandoned the family, fled to the Philippines, which is why I think that he was originally from the Philippines.
Sure, so he had somewhere to go quick.
Yeah, probably maybe like a dual citizenship or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. At minimum, he had friends or family there that could help him.
There was a reason he went to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And one source said that he sold their family home out from underneath them.
Holy shit. So the dad sells the house, ditches the family, essentially leaves them unhoused, and flees to the Philippines to get out of fraud charges or whatever? Embezzlement charges?
I could only find one source that said he sold the house, so I'm not totally sure. But this all ties back to his father being the one who cared so much about appearances. He was stealing money. And he was encouraging Andrew to like act like you're way more important than your background would suggest.
Sure, because it helps reinforce the lie.
Yeah, because that's the kind of shit his dad cared about. It just so happened that Andrew is kind of a psychopath who pulls it off really well.
Damn.
And his dad like taught him about like brand names and what success should look like.
Quote unquote looks like, yeah, gross. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but he was embezzling the whole time, and then his morals are such that he just ditches everyone and moves across the world. So
yeah, it's the Trumpian paint the White House gold, put a bloated erection of me with a Bitcoin on the White House lawn bullshit.
Ick.
It's
fucking
so foul.
Golden calf moron.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. That same year, his very Catholic mother, freshly abandoned, finds out he's gay, doesn't like it, finds out that he is like gay and out and partying, and this is his lifestyle. So she is not okay with it. During one heated argument, Andrew threw his mother against the wall, dislocating her shoulder.
Ugh. I mean, listen, I know it's not cool when your parents don't accept your identity, but also don't do that.
No. And this is kind of the first reported time where he's like shown violence towards a person. So he was not well. And as we know, a lot of personality disorders kind of rise to the surface around, late teens, early 20s.
For sure. That frontal lobe is just wrapping up.
He ended up dropping out of school in 1989. So when he was in his early 20s, he was partying at clubs. He was using a lot of drugs. He was living in San Francisco's Castro district, so very much a hub of gay culture. Living with his best friend Liz and her boyfriend.
Fun.
Sounds like it would be
really
fucking fun.
Yeah. Live it up.
He was very much reveling in the company he kept and sort of adapted to the people he was around. He was also just like a fucking chameleon sponge.
Yeah.
So he's adopting all these, characteristics and traits of people around him.
It's like you could drop him into any social situation and he's going to find purchase.
Yup. By the time he was 21, and again, this is a fiction versus maybe not. By the time he's 21, he spoke 7 languages.
Okay,
And
but
had
again, that's like according to him.
It's according to media reports.
Got it. Okay.
There's a book about this that's written by Maureen Orth, who is a journalist who did a shit ton of reporting on him while all this was happening and also after it ended. And she wrote a book called Vulgar Favors. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before because that was like the book that got me into true crime books.
No way. This is that case?
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is like a full circle moment for you.
Yeah, kind of. That's why I was so excited to cover this guy.
Damn, girl. All right.
The book is it's exceptional. But I read it a really long time ago, so I don't remember all the details. But yeah, Vulgar Favors, Maureen Orth, not Maureen Dowd, who's the one who took too many gummies and freaked out in her hotel room. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. She a housewife?
No, she's a journalist. Then she wrote an article. I think she's for Washington Post. Wrote an article about how important it is to have serving sizes on edibles.
Oh my God, girl!
Or like,
chill.
don't make them taste good because I took too many and I almost died.
Okay, go take a nap, Maureen.
Article's kind of funny.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, she thought she was dying, but anyway, you live, you learn.
Yep.
Okay.
A mistake you only make once.
Yeah. So he had ingratiated himself with a lot of very influential people, particularly older, rich gay men. Mm-hmm. So kind of because of that, he had developed a taste for the finer things at this point. He had sugar daddies.
Sure.
He's sort of floating between San Francisco, San Diego, and Scottsdale, Arizona, because he knows a bunch of guys out there. Mm-hmm. They're always picking up the tab.
The Scottsdale gays are rich as hell, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. God bless him.
So he's in that. And then also like some Miami. Mm-hmm. He's floating around.
Yeah. Hitting the circuit.
So around this time, he got really into violent pornography.
Oh.
And like very kinky BDSM.
Sure.
Not vanilla type of sex stuff.
He's exploring.
And he was also probably, I mean, there's not like hard facts about this, but he was basically dealing Xanax, Prozac, Vicodin, cocaine, methamphetamines, marijuana, etc. Okay. So now we've got the never killed anyone combo of violent sex, hard drugs, and a fixation, an increasing fixation on material wealth. Mm-hmm. And you're a pathological liar. So like, what could go wrong?
Right.
Friends say he was really obsessed with looking young, and he would like take his Xanax because he had anxiety about getting like a pouch, like a little bit of belly. One acquaintance said, quote, "Gay middle age comes early."
Holy shit, that's brutal. This poor bastard wouldn't last 1 second in the asylum that is my body.
No.
Not a one.
So there's an article from the Washington Post that was published in 1997, putting that out there now. It is so, it's one of those pieces of wild journalism that's just kind of fun to read. Mm-hmm. So here's a little gem from that. That Cunanan had rage in his soul was never a secret. One day in September 1995, he went to the beach with a friend named Jay. The tale is told by Stephen Zealand, Jay's roommate and something of a rival of Cunanan's. Jay and Andrew found a sea anemone, and Andrew decided it needed something to eat. He spied a small crab in a seaside crevice nearby. He tried to dig it out, but it wouldn't budge. Andrew pulled out his car keys. He jabbed the crab and jabbed and jabbed. The creature turned to mush. Then he fed the fragments of the crab to the anemone as Jay, whose goal in life was to become a marine biologist, looked on in horror.
Yeah, because I feel like there's also this whole falsehood that like crustaceans don't feel pain, and that's why we were like boiling lobsters and crabs alive and shit like that. That's not fucking true. Like they have, it's not a complex nervous system, but they experience pain signals.
I don't think it mattered to him whether or not they felt pain because he's a fucking psycho.
But I'm just saying, I'm certain there are people that could overlook this because it's like, oh, well, it's a crab.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? It's like, no, this is bad.
Yeah. Zealand says, quote, he didn't go to the beach with Andrew anymore.
Yeah, you fucking better believe it. Can you imagine?
And then here's another little story about an encounter that a friend relayed later. So he and Andrew had gone out and gone to like a strip of gay bars and they were riding his motorcycle and Andrew was on the back and they were just having a really fun night. And then they stopped at a 24-hour cafe to like get something to eat. Quote, after they left the cafe, walking down the sidewalk, Andrew suddenly brought up a topic he'd never broached with his platonic friend, sexual fetishes. Andrew okay, so the friend's name is Gomer, and he'll come up again later, so you won't forget the name Gomer.
I never will.
Andrew told Gomer that he liked sadomasochistic sex, dominating a partner wearing a latex mask with air holes for the nostrils.
Okay.
He described yet more elaborate forms of sex that Gomer to this day won't discuss. He had told Andrew too much information.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, friends talk about sex stuff with each other, but for this to come totally out of the blue, they've never had a conversation about each other's sexual preferences outside of knowing that they were gay before, and now he's dropping bombs about this like pretty hardcore stuff that he's into. That would, if it were you and me, it would raise alarm bells. I'd be like, girl, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where is this coming from?
I know a few friends who I wouldn't be surprised about, but yeah, you've never talked about it. Elsewhere in that quote, he's had like just been talking about like the fucking supply chain from Mexico or something really dry.
Talking shop.
Yeah. And then this Gomer guy goes on to say that he had to like go ask some of his friends later, like, what were these words he was saying to me? Like he'd never even like heard of a lot of this stuff.
Oh my God, sweet man.
But that's just how out of at least his friends' sort of boundaries, his interests were, and he was talking about it.
Yeah.
Also, around this time, Andrew began to idolize Gianni Versace because he was an older, wealthy, famous gay man with access to all the things that Andrew desired. So he just represented, the man that Andrew wanted to be. Andrew claims that the two, he and Versace, met in October 1990 when Versace was in town to be recognized for the costumes he had designed for the San Francisco Opera production of Richard Strauss's opera Capriccio.
I'll take that didn't happen for 200, Alec.
Yeah.
They were not like buddies. Maybe they were in the same room. Maybe Andrew went to this event. I find it hard to believe that they, quote unquote, met or had any kind of relationship.
So it's impossible to prove at this point in time, but they did run in somewhat similar social circles. The wealthy
gays, yeah.
The rich gays. But probably Versace never met Andrew, and this was all part of Andrew's fantasy delusion.
Yeah.
Andrew's story that he like told repeatedly to his friends went that Versace approached him.
He came on to me
saying like, hello, I am Gianni Versace. And Andrew said, honey, if you're Versace, I'm Coco Chanel.
Oh,
not believing that he was. And what a meet cute that was.
Yeah.
So that's like the story that
what a meet cute that would have been if it had happened.
It didn't happen.
There's no fucking way.
No. In December 1995, Andrew met David Madsen, who was an architect based in Minneapolis. They met in a San Francisco bar. Andrew fell very hard, and they began a long-distance relationship shortly thereafter, but they were only in a relationship for like a few months. And then Madsen ended the relationship in the spring of 1996, telling friends that he sensed something shady about Andrew. Andrew claimed that David was the love of his life, and after the breakup, he was bereft. A few months later, in September 1996, Andrew ended things with one of his most prominent sugar daddies, a guy named Norman Blackford. But Norman was giving him like $2,500 a month. He had bought him a car. He was buying him all sorts of stuff. So he was very much funding Andrew's lifestyle.
Yeah, so that
things
is a
start to-
significant loss, too,
yeah.
to not have that cash flow anymore.
So
Be rough.
very soon after that, Andrew had maxed out his credit cards, and his friends were aware that he had begun selling and also regularly taking drugs again, in particular meth. By April 1997, Andrew was abusing painkillers and drinking, quote, like there was no tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
So there was speculation that Andrew had been diagnosed with HIV at this point and was just really depressed and willing to just blow up his whole life. That has been proven false. That was a theory.
Okay.
Bottom line, he was just totally out of control. He had a very good friend named Jeffrey Trail. Jeff was a former naval officer working as a district manager for a propane delivery company in Minneapolis.
Propane and propane accessories.
Yep. One source said that they had maybe been romantically involved in the past, but for the most part, their relationship at this point was totally platonic, and they had been very close to each other. And Jeff was one of the friends who had noticed that Andrew was in a really bad spot and had distanced himself from him because of it.
Okay.
They had some kind of falling out, but
That's sad.
we're not really sure what that is,
Yeah.
what the story was there. So on April 24th, Andrew and 4 friends, Andrew threw himself a going away party for a fictional move.
Let's fucking go.
He told his friends he was moving back to San Francisco, threw himself a party.
Any reason to go to a party.
Well,
I don't give a shit if you say or go.
Andrew usually picked up the tab, which was probably why his friends went to this party. But this was a rare occasion when Andrew did not cover the tab because he had reached the credit limit on both of his credit cards. So, in fact, he had to call his credit card company and beg them to raise his credit limit in order to afford a one-way ticket to Minneapolis for the next day.
Yikes. That's rough.
A one-way ticket.
Yeah.
To where both of there's two people that you're mad at.
Yeah.
He told his friends that he had to, quote, take care of some business matters with Jeff. Jeff had told his sister that he didn't want Andrew to come. He seemed sort of like afraid of him.
Okay.
Jeff had alluded to a blow up or a falling out or something, and he said something along the lines of, I have to get away from these people, they're gonna kill me, or something like that.
Ooh, that's scary. I don't like that.
So upon arrival in Minneapolis at MSP the next day, Andrew stayed with David Madsen, his ex-boyfriend, who was also friends with Jeff. All 3 of them knew each other. They were friends. So David said that Andrew could stay in his apartment.
Okay.
That night, Andrew and Madsen had dinner at Nye's.
Polonaise?
Yep. And then went to the gay 90s.
Oh my God.
Live it up. Ride that giant penis.
We've done these things.
Yeah. I miss Nye's.
I know. The real original Nyes was such a fucking gem.
Yeah.
A really special place.
So, the vibes, however, were really not chill with either David or Jeff. They were both wary of Andrew, but like the 3 of them were kind of like hanging out. I don't know if they were just trying to like resolve stuff, get stuff out in the open, get things back to normal. That's kind of what it seemed like. But both of these guys were just like, and then also Jeff told Andrew that he could stay at his apartment.
Okay.
But Jeff wouldn't stay there with him. Jeff went to go stay with his boyfriend. He's like, you can stay at my place,
I don't want
but
you to
I'm
sleep
not.
on the street. I just don't want to be there while you're there. Okay, fair.
Jeff's older sister, Lisa,
The one he had told, like, I don't want want him to come here. I'm scared of him. Yeah.
So she was interviewed pretty extensively, and she said that she had first met the, quote, incredibly articulate Andrew in April of 1995. So 2 years, almost exactly 2 years earlier. And she had heard his wild stories about growing up in Israel, being the son of Russian immigrants, having a wife and a daughter. Those were the ones that he had photos of to like show them off.
So weird.
And so that was just 2 years ago. I think that the friends are just very wary of him because they have found out that a lot of this shit was a lie.
Yeah.
They also, either one of them or both of them, I think, found out that his name, they thought his last name was De Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole time they had, presumably for a while.
But it wasn't. It was Kanana. Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, everyone has their suspicions about whether Andrew was telling the truth pretty much ever.
Mm-hmm.
So this weekend in 1997 in Minneapolis, like I said, Jeff had agreed to let Andrew stay in his apartment, but Jeff was going to stay with his boyfriend. He apparently said he had become tired of Andrew's showboat persona and the deceptions about how he had made his money. Because again, there's no pineapple farm.
No, I mean, and as you peel back more and more of those layers of lies, it's like, okay, none of this is charming or fucking funny anymore. Like, this is starting to creep everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
This
Come clean.
Yeah, come clean. Get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop. Let's not do this.
Yeah. So the three of them spent much of the weekend together, like I said, just maybe trying to, we don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from the Washington Post. Again, just a really dramatic paragraph to read. The conditions for catastrophic personal collapse were all present in Cunanan when he left the gay precincts he had long haunted in San Diego to visit Minneapolis on April 25th. He had a history of drug abuse and pathological lying. He had run out of money and lost the sugar daddy lover who had lavished money, an expensive car, and exotic vacations on him.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, at age 27, had suddenly become a gay gigolo in decline.
Ooh, ouch.
It's just so dramatic.
Scathing.
He had also been rejected by...
Ray is on Lucy's shoulder, rubbing his head on her headphones right now. Like, no peace whatsoever.
I like his little wet nose.
I know you do. You love it.
He had also been rejected by a close friend and former lover. In visiting the friend and former lover in Minneapolis, something triggered what appears to have been a spontaneous homicidal rage.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. This is a murderer episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It
shit.
began just 2 days after Cunanan's arrival on the night of April 27th. So this is Sunday night, April 27th. In the city's fashionable downtown warehouse district, a neighbor heard yelling and thud-like noises. Then someone shouted, "Get the fuck out!"
Well, there were definitely gays in the North Loop even then.
Yeah.
The fashionable warehouse district.
Okay.
It's the North Loop, girl.
Got it.
But yeah,
Around-
okay, so a neighbor overheard something not good happening.
So shortly before 10 p.m., one of David's neighbors heard a furious argument. The walls were shaking like people were being thrown. There was like a physical, something was happening.
That's scary. I've heard that if in a neighboring apartment before, and it is very scary to hear person or people in distress in your building and feeling like really helpless about it. I mean, you can call the police.
And it's so close, but there's just like it's a whole someone's whole separate life on the other side of a wall.
Yeah, it's so odd. It's such an odd experience, and then running into that person in the hallway at a later date, like I've experienced that, and just trying to follow up and see if they're okay, and it's just like, but also, I'm trying to live a quiet life here. I don't really want to get too deeply involved in what's going on with you, but I also don't want you to be in danger or harm others or yourself. It's just, that's living in community. Apartment living is a very interesting experience.
Yep. So this neighbor said it lasted between 30 and 45 seconds. And at this point, the neighbor had gone out in the hallway to see if someone was going to run out.
Yep.
But no one came out, and then it went silent, and then he heard the water running.
Oh, dear.
Jeff Trail had been bludgeoned to death with a claw hammer.
Oh, my
and
God.
his body was wrapped in a rug and hidden behind the couch.
Oh, my God.
So what happened next is not certain. Andrew's later actions imply that he was responsible for Jeff's death, but investigators have considered the possibility that David was an accomplice because all three of them were in the apartment.
Oh.
And it was David's apartment.
Oh, right. Okay.
So David and Andrew were seen walking David's dog over the next 2 days, just around the neighborhood. David's family has argued that he must have been a hostage because this is not something he would do.
Yeah, he wouldn't just go along with the death of this guy that they know that they both are friends with, covering it up. What you think?
So David isn't going to work on Monday or halfway through Tuesday. So his coworkers reported his Okay, so I don't know if they reported his absence to the police or one of them was good enough friends that they had a spare key to his apartment.
Okay, I went to check on him. And this is the propane guy, right?
Madsen is the architect.
Got it. Okay.
He has the nice apartment in the North
Jeff
Loop.
is the propane guy.
Jeff is the propane guy. Jeff is currently in the rug.
Yep.
So someone, if it's the friends or the police, they enter his apartment on Tuesday the 29th. They find Jeff's body. No attempt had been made to cover up the crime. Like
he was just rolled up
apart from the rug. Yeah.
But everything else.
The hammer was still there.
Ew.
A gun was missing from a holster along with 10 bullets. And someone had left a nylon gym bag embroidered with the name Andrew Cunanan.
I wonder whose bag that is. It's so weird.
What? So they think that Andrew and David were staying in that apartment.
Sure.
With Jeff's body, with all that shit.
Oh, that's so odd.
That gun belonged to Jeff. So the hypothesis is Andrew had access to Jeff's apartment while Jeff was not there with his boyfriend.
Correct.
Andrew stole that gun from Jeff, brought it over to David's apartment.
Okay.
Calls Jeff, hey, I have your gun. You better come over here. That's what brought Jeff over to his house that night.
Oh, my God.
That's the theory. It was not until May 2nd, 3 days after Jeff's body was found, that the two men were spotted driving north of Minneapolis in David's red Jeep and later eating lunch in a bar. Mm-hmm. So at this point, he's being tracked, and also like the bartender or the bar owner knew who they were. Mm-hmm. Both ordered beer and cheeseburgers.
Okay.
The bar owner told the LA Times that David looked nervous, looking over his shoulder every time someone came into the restaurant. And the next day, fishermen found David's body in the grass along East Rush Lake. He had been shot either 1 or 3 times, conflicting information with Jeff's stolen gun.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I mean, that's fucking devastating. And also, it's so frustrating because, so it's David's sister who is saying he must have been held hostage?
His family said that.
And
it was
now
Jeff's sister who was giving insight as to what happened before.
Right. But the hostage theory, now there is no real closure around not only what happened to Jeff, because David as a valuable witness is gone, but like why or how David participated in this is now we only have Andrew's fucking word to take for it, and he's a liar.
Well, we'll get to it.
It's so frustrating. I hate this shit.
I know. So yeah, the main theory is that Andrew attacked Jeff when he walked into David's apartment. David was just standing there. He wasn't helping.
No.
But there's nothing he could do at a certain point because now Andrew's threatening him. He has a gun. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah. And even if it wasn't like a full-blown hostage situation, I want to see the humanity in everybody, right? So like imagine you're trying to help a friend and now suddenly there's a dead guy in your apartment and the guy who killed him is standing right there with a gun. It's not that hard to believe that even if Andrew wasn't like, you are my hostage now, that David was like, fuck, I better just do whatever I don't want to rock the boat and maybe wait for an opportunity to get away.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yep. But that didn't happen. So Andrew takes David's red Jeep Cherokee and hit the highway, driving to Chicago. A map later found in the Jeep guided Andrew straight to a popular nightclub area at Rush and Division Streets because that was like the party nightclub. He went straight to Chicago to party. That's what he did.
A map. Can you imagine?
It was 1997.
I know. I love it.
I know.
So vintage.
So vintage. A witness also saw someone sleeping in the Jeep that night, just right out on the street. So he didn't have a plan.
No, he didn't have any money. He had this car. And he had to get out of Minneapolis because now he's got 2 bodies on his hands.
Yep. And he knew that he needed to ditch that car and get a different car. So, Chicago real estate tycoon, millionaire, and 72-year-old Lee Miglin lived.
Ever heard of him?
He lived a block away from the nightclub area where Andrew was partying.
Okay.
His 2-car garage is separated from his house by an alley. So Lee, I don't know what time of day or evening this was, but he's sweeping out the garage when they think Andrew sneaks down the alley and surprised Lee.
Jesus.
Once again, he didn't want to leave any witnesses. He'd already killed 2 people.
No, he does not.
But he also did not want to use the 10mm handgun, Jeff's gun, because that would have been too loud. You're in downtown Chicago. Someone's going to come right away.
Yeah.
And the gun would tie him to,
Everything.
Presumably.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to use the gun. So he evidently used whatever he could find, which in Lee's garage was a screwdriver, a gardening hacksaw, and a heavy bag of cement mix.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
And some duct tape.
Ick.
So he tied his hands and wrists and his feet together, and then he covered his head in duct tape, and then he stabbed him with the screwdriver, and then he cut his neck with the saw.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's how that man died.
Oh my God. This guy was just at his house.
He was sweeping his garage.
Like, what the fuck? He had nothing to do with anything. He probably would have just not, like, again, downtown Chicago, people are going to notice that you're there, but, like, most people are just minding their own fucking business. Just drive away. Just go somewhere else. Somewhere else.
I don't know that he was planning on killing someone. He was just trying to find a car, but then he saw him and Lee saw him, and so after he finished killing Lee, police say Andrew left the body covered in brown paper lying in the corner of the garage. Then he moved a big garbage bin to hide the body from view.
That's so fucking sad.
The murder
so
scene,
fucking senseless. Like,
it's very bad. The murder scene was so grisly that it quickly spawned an image of Andrew as a demented serial killer, because at this point, the cops are onto him. They have bulletins out. They know who they're looking for.
Right.
A demented serial killer enacting some kind of ritualized murder fantasy. There was speculation that Lee might have been one of Andrew's sugar daddies and that this was an act of revenge because he was a old millionaire guy. There is no evidence to suggest this. It was probably just a random fucking stupid, sad thing.
Also, like, yes, it was probably a random fucking stupid sad thing on Andrew's part, but also knowing that Andrew is gay and the, like, rampant homophobia of that time that still exists today, people were gonna spin tales about anybody who was associated with this individual, and as if his sexuality fucking matters at all in this situation. Like, harmful people come in all shapes and sizes, but they are predominantly cishet men. So, like, everybody fucking chill, okay?
Yep.
Hands off trans and queer people, all right? Fuck off!
So much yelling today.
I know, I'm home alone, so I'm just really enjoying it. I'm using the space.
Good. But yeah, it was just a really dramatic and violent crime scene. And because they didn't know the motivation, they didn't know any connections, people were just running with it. And journalism will do what journalism does, sensationalize.
Yes.
Try to draw connections. But I think in this case, he didn't have a fucking plan.
No, that guy he rolled up in that guy's neighborhood
for a car.
And that poor bastard was sweeping out his garage at the wrong time. That's all we fucking know. So that's it.
Remember Gomer?
How could I forget?
Andrew's friend Gomer, the one who he was like talking about all that BDSM stuff and was like, what?
He terrified that poor bastard. Yep.
Well, I think it scarred him because he read about this murder. He read that the guy's head was taped up with the duct tape and it reminded him with the air holes with the nostrils.
Oh.
So he like contacted authorities and that might not have helped the narrative that this was a gay lover revenge story, but it's kind of a weird, creepy tie.
Yeah, it freaked Gomer out. Gomer called to give information. People ran with it the way that they were going to fucking run with it. I don't think that necessarily indicates any kind of like maliciousness on Gomer's part, Gomer is also a gay man, correct?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
They were at least friends.
They're at least friends.
They were going out to gay bars together, so I assume so,
probably.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just like, hey, weird. I know this guy that you're looking for. He said this weird shit. Like, this is the last time I saw him. That's fair. It's
possible there's a connection there. Yeah.
Sure.
So Andrew took Lee's green 1994 Lexus and drove east to Manhattan, where over the next 4 days he shopped at a Levi's store. He watched the Jim Carrey classic film Liar, Liar.
No, he did not. How do we know this? Did he like go to it in theaters? It was the 90s.
It might have been a pay-per-view in a hotel.
Got it. Okay.
Could have been. And luxuriated in a $14 a day gay health club.
Okay.
He is not known to have preyed on anyone at this time, I think because he didn't need to.
Yeah.
Yet.
He felt like he was hiding in plain sight, kind of.
Mm-hmm. So, too bad for him. Also, again, really disorganized and bad at this. Lee's Lexus had a car phone.
Oh, shit.
And Andrew made a couple phone calls because he needs to be social, and there's records of him calling like his friends and just gabbing, chatting.
Did they report these calls, or were they not necessarily aware that all of this was going down? Because I could see
they were reported eventually, but maybe his friends were just kind of like, okay, I don't know what you're doing right now. I don't know. It's
also a pre-social media era. This is now a series of crimes that is taking place in different places that like investigators are starting to understand are connected, but isn't necessarily public knowledge. Like there might not be this like widespread, very public manhunt at this time. So I could see a reality where he calls friends and they're like, oh, Jesus, this guy's fucking calling again. But they don't know that he's like currently a person of interest in multiple crimes.
I think at this point, the FBI definitely knows.
Right. But that's what I mean. The public doesn't.
And they were looking for, because like that bar manager in Minnesota recognized them, but that might have been more of a localized manhunt situation. Mm-hmm. Whereas this is like across many state lines.
Right.
So I don't know, but you know who would know? Maureen Orth in Vulgar Favors.
Get it, girl.
Okay, so because he used his car phone, authorities could track him, and it like pinged in Pennsylvania, a few different places. So because of that, authorities assumed that on May 9th, Andrew drove south at some point he goes from New York to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. They're not that far apart, so that makes sense.
So they think he drove south out of the city on either the New Jersey Turnpike or on I-295 and took the first exit, which leads to the sleepy community of Pennsville, New Jersey. And this is a town where there was like a Civil War battle. So there's like a historical cemetery. Mm-hmm. And there are signs because sometimes there are tourists that go that way. So there are signs that say this isolated cemetery is over here. So they think he just followed the signs and ended up at Finns Point National Cemetery. Okay. Where he shot and killed 45-year-old cemetery caretaker William Richard Bill Reese. Who,
what the fuck?
He needed another car.
Oh my God, just steal a car. You don't have to kill every time you need a fucking car. What the fuck, dude?
Maybe he thought he could just find a car to steal, but he ends up... Yeah, poor Bill. Ugh. He had like a beard. He was a Civil War buff.
He's just working. He's just working.
It was at
working
the end
cemetery.
of his shift. He was about to leave to go home to have dinner with his wife. So later that day, when he didn't come home for dinner, his wife went to the cemetery to check on him and found the caretaker's office door ajar with the radio playing inside.
Oh my God.
So she then called the police, who found Reese shot in the head by Jeff's gun.
No.
The same one used to murder David.
Yep.
So now they know.
Yep.
Unlike Andrew's other victims, who he seemingly killed for personal reasons, authorities believe they killed Reese Bill simply for his 1995 red Chevy pickup truck, which he took and drove south, stealing a license plate in South Carolina, slapping it on over the New Jersey one, and continued on to another gay enclave, South Miami Beach. He just he leaves the destruction that he's left and just goes to party.
Yeah, it's so strange, and he just keeps slipping through.
He is not doing a very good job of hiding his tracks. And
yeah,
it's
but
shocking.
considering how bad a job he's doing, he sure as shit still out here fucking doing it. Like, what are the cops doing? You know
what the cops are doing? There's a very good case for saying that they are relying way too much on computerized, like, police assistance programs. Because this is in the mid-90s. They're starting to digitize a lot of stuff. There's, like, databases and things like that. So one of the articles argued that they were relying way too heavily on that and not
instead
enough,
of just
like,
getting their
boots on the
physical
ground.
asses. Yeah,
just go
out there,
fucking
follow
find
this
him.
fucking guy. Follow him.
Yes.
Oh, God. AI, ruining everything.
All right. I'm almost done. I promise. There's just so much.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Okay. On May 12th, Andrew began staying at the Normandy Plaza Hotel in Miami Beach, where he paid $29 per night in cash. Kind of a shitty little motel in Miami.
What a bargain, though.
A month later, he's there for a month.
Are you just fucking kidding me?
No. A month later, he's listed on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, which that's what really gets a lot of people's attention.
Yeah. Could we have put him on that? I don't know. Way sooner? When he committed murders in multiple states, 2 states. Okay. Now you have committed murders in 2 states, 2 in one state, one in another. We're going to put you on that list now. How about not before there's like 4 in 4 different fucking states? How about that?
So while the manhunt unsuccessfully focused on Bill Reese's stolen truck, so remember there's a different license plate on this truck, and also I think he hid the truck in like a parking garage near where he was staying, so he still had access to it. He still had all of his shit in it because he's an idiot. Good thing he's an idiot, but yeah, he hid in plain sight for 2 months.
Honestly, at that point, he gets to be an idiot because what this investigation is proving time and time again is that they're dragging their ass and he can just luxuriate in the zero consequences of bopping around and fucking murdering people.
Gets worse. Here's the worst part. Well, not the worst. The last detail I had about how fucking bad they were at this. He had stolen a gold coin or maybe several gold coins from Lee, the old man in the garage. And then he took them to a pawn shop in Miami and used his actual name, not even De Silva. And the coins came up as stolen. The pawn shop contacted the police and the police never followed up on it. Even though it had his full actual name stolen from a victim. So that was on July 7th.
Y'all, we have got to stop paying our taxes if they're going to keep going to this fucking shit. I
know.
I can't. Okay. Yep. You know what? I'm just going to shut up because if I start, I'll never stop.
I know. So that was on July 7th, which is close to the end of his spree. Not even. Okay. He did this even knowing that police routinely reviewed pawn shop records, but apparently not this fucking time. On July 14th, seemingly out of money, Andrew checked out of his hotel without paying for his last night there. Another dumb move. that night that he left the hotel, he went to Cazzoli's Pizza at 71st and Collins Avenue, which was near the hotel. He had gone there frequently over the past 2 months, sometimes twice a day. According to the owner, he would always order 2 slices from the pizza maker and then buy himself a Coke and sit and eat by himself and just keep to himself. But this time, that night, he went in, he looked unkempt, and instead of ordering anything, he asked the pizza guy for $1 because he didn't have any money. So they gave him $1, and I think he left, and they never saw him in there again. So just sort of a weird, okay. The next day, around 8:45 a.m. on July 15th, 1997, Giovanni Versace had left his house, which was called Casa Casuarina. He had a mansion in Miami Beach, beautiful home. He left his house to go to visit the News Cafe, a little like magazine stand, to pick up some fashion magazines and grab coffee and come home. And when he was returning in through the gates of his home, he was shot once in the back of the head and once in the left cheek, again with Jeff's gun.
No fucking way. This is the guy who murdered Giovanni Versace? What the fuck is this story?
Yeah. It's season 2 of American Monster, I think. Or one of those FX shows.
What the fuck?
So he killed him right away. Versace, a man that he probably never fucking met, that he was obsessed with, that he just projected and envied and wanted to like wear him like a skin suit. He just shot him.
Holy hell.
A witness saw this happen. I think a guy was like walking his dog right there. He gave chase, but was unable to catch Andrew as he fled into a nearby parking garage.
I gotta say, that's really brave of that citizen witness to chase down someone who just shot a man in cold blood on the street.
I know. I have goosebumps.
That's really fucking brave.
Yeah.
Even if you don't catch them, I would completely understand not doing that, not chasing them.
Your impulse would be to run the other fucking way because there's a crazy man with a gun.
But yeah, I gotta say,
chasing him.
It is incredibly admirable that somebody would even try to chase down that person. Yeah. That's nuts. What a detail.
Versace was pronounced dead at Jackson Memorial Hospital at 9:21 a.m. So like fucking 45 minutes later. Responding police found Bill's stolen red truck in a nearby parking garage. Like I said, it contained Andrew's clothes and clippings of newspaper reports about the earlier murders because he just can't get enough of himself.
Yeah, you got to keep up with the news, you know?
Yep.
Stay informed.
Versace's death just outside of his oceanfront mansion, it was very dramatic, looked to police at first like the result of an execution-style slaying. Again, these murders are sloppy, unplanned, and yet there's always something about them that makes it look like it could be very intentional. But it fucking wasn't. So in this case, the gunman pumped 2 bullets into the back of Versace's head, then ran. He changed his clothes at the red pickup truck where he had parked weeks before in a nearby garage. Then he fled on foot again, leaving behind like his fucking driver's license or some ID card. It looks like he's taunting the police, and there were theories about that, but the FBI's Agent Esposito and others claimed that Andrew was simply rushed and careless.
100%. I mean, like you said, it's not that these murders weren't intentional. He wanted to kill the people that he killed, but they were mostly out of
organized.
No, they were not organized. They were for opportunity, desperation,
trucks.
Yeah, and then I think probably some fucking psychosis. I mean, he's on and off of drugs. He's clearly struggling. I'm not saying that it's like that's why, but like it's a component. It's not a fucking like assassination of Versace because a rival, fashion empire wanted to fucking take him down. No, it's a guy who's been losing it for a while, who's been on a killing spree for fucking months. Finally found himself in his vicinity of someone who he's been obsessed with for years, and he killed him.
it's the whole, if I can't be you,
I'll kill you.
want to kill you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make logical sense, but
And it's so avoidable. They could have caught him a really fucking long time ago if they had done any like actual legitimate investigative work.
Yeah.
Followed up on leads, put fucking boots on the ground like you said. Fuck that.
Okay, this is my last gem from that Washington Post article. Get ready.
I'm not ready. This case has harmed me.
I know.
I'm pissed.
I still have some significant things left. Okay. So the FBI gets a hold of Liz, his friend that he lived with in San Francisco with her boyfriend. First of all, her name is Liz Cote, C-O-T-E. And he would lie to people and tell everyone her name was Elizabeth Cote and her husband, and they're so wealthy and blah, blah. It was like stupid shit like that. And all of his friends knew. They're like, oh yeah, Liz.
Oh, you mean Liz? Liz Lemon?
But she was very close to him. And also he was the godfather to her 2 children. Mm-hmm. So Liz and Andrew were close. And so the FBI went to Liz and had her tape like a plea for him. To come to turn himself in.
Come clean, yeah.
So she wrote, Andrew, wherever you are, please stop what you are doing. You still have a chance to show the entire world the side of you that I and your godchildren know. Dee Dee loves you, Shmoo. I bring with me a special message from our papoose. Grimmy says she loves her Uncle Monkey and hopes that you'll remember that always.
Oof.
By the time, but these are not my words. By the time the FBI distributed the tape, it was too late for Uncle Monkey.
No. Washington fucking Post. I mean, y'all
editorializing.
are problematic for a million reasons, but like, girl.
It's too late for Uncle Monkey.
Not Uncle Monkey.
Not Uncle Monkey. Okay, so Versace was murdered on July 15th. On July 23rd, 8 fucking days later, Fernando Carrera, the caretaker of a houseboat in Miami, either found an intruder on the boat and called the police, or another report said he heard a gunshot and then called the police.
Great. Okay.
Either way, apparently sensing his impending capture, Andrew put Jeff's gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger.
Yep, there it is. I knew they weren't going to get this guy alive at this point.
Because there's
let him run
so
wild
many
for too
unanswered
fucking long.
questions.
Yeah.
But police, unaware that he was dead in the houseboat, still engaged in a 5-hour standoff with his dead body. Just drop the ball one last time, please. Okay, and then this is a really random note about the houseboat. The houseboat's owner, a German named Torsten Reineck, claims to be a citizen of the Principality of Sealand, a minuscule former gun installation just off the English coast that is not recognized diplomatically by the United States or most other countries.
What? Okay.
So he's just a weird, like, European sovereign citizen.
Yes. What the
guy who owns a
fuck?
houseboat in Miami.
I'm not boating, I'm traveling.
So exactly.
You have no jurisdiction here.
The FBI is like, you're too weird to have nothing to do with this. So they like questioned him a bunch and then finally let him go. They're just like, no, you're just a weirdo.
What the fuck?
Oh, last weird detail, because I don't want to talk about this fucking guy anymore. Andrew did not leave a suicide note, but he did leave a few personal items. Nothing really of note except for multiple tubes of hydrocortisone cream.
Well,
and
it sucks to be itchy.
A fairly extensive collection of fiction by C.S. Lewis. Also so creepy.
To my goddaughter Papoose, I leave my labubu's. What the fuck was this story?
Andrew, no.
I'm shook. This was the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah. So it was a season 2 of American Crime Story.
Okay.
And I really liked it because it didn't answer a whole lot about motivation, about Andrew's reality versus the reality.
Well, right. How do we answer questions that we do not know the answers to?
I don't know. But you know I love that shit and you hate it. So.
I know, but
anyway.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's him. That was a long one. That was a doozy, but yeah. Sorry I forced it, but I'm not sorry because that's incredible.
I'm not. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I need 1 minute. And that timing is perfect because we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors.
Let's do it.
Telehealth is pretty miraculous. It's made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people, which is an incredible advancement that we cannot deny. But critical challenges like finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, and the expensive out-of-pocket costs are still barriers. These are keeping several people from getting the care that they need. And we needed a friend to help us combat that. So Rula is on a mission to make high-quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula's really got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 per session. And you can now get the quality care you need when you need it at a price that you can afford. It's such a game changer. And it's not just affordable. Rula will stick with you throughout your journey, making sure you get the best therapy and that you're making progress. It's like your built-in accountability buddy. With Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their expertise, so you'll always know you're in the hands of quality providers who are dedicated to making real progress in your care. And the first step on your journey to mental well-being is easy. You just answer a few questions about what's important to you. Rula can get a feel for what you're looking for, what your needs are, and then they provide a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences, and you can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day, which for some people is like truly life-saving. That quick connection, that quick care, get it ASAP. You deserve it. You deserve to take care of your mental health.
My favorite part about Rula is how easy they make it to advocate for yourself. Because that can be super hard in a healthcare setting in general. So go to Rula.com/gals to get started today. That's RULA.com/gals for convenient therapy that's covered by insurance. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to Rula.com/gals to get started today. After you sign up, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Go to RULA.com/gals and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares.
Credit is confusing, and I feel like kind of intentionally confusing, and we're not taught very thoroughly about it. And then mistakes you made years ago in your late teens, your early 20s, when you first moved out, and the bank was like, yeah, sure, you could have this credit card with this insane limit. And then you're like, how do I use this? And they're like, no, I'm not going to tell you that. And then you use it a lot, and then it's
so
like,
easy. You just use it.
You just use it. And then you're like, oh no, wait. And then it affects your credit score, and then it's haunting you for years and years and years. Weird. That's what bad credit can feel like. But there's finally a way out. Let us tell you about Ava.
Ava is a credit building app that makes it so easy to improve your credit fast so you can get better rates on loans, pay off debt faster, and keep more money in your pocket. Getting a secured card can take months, and it's a huge pain. But with Ava, you can be approved in 5 minutes and get credit up to $2,500 to pay for existing bills and subscriptions automatically. There is no credit check, no interest, and no hidden fees. It's just a very easy tool that helps build your credit behind the scenes. It's like a set it and forget it sort of thing. So for just $8 a month, you get access to all of Ava's credit building tools. Ava keeps it low stress, low cost, and super transparent. Ava is the highest rated credit building app out there with thousands of 5-star reviews and the only one rated excellent on Trustpilot.
So take control of your credit right now. Download the Ava app, spelled AVA, today. And when you join using our promo code CRIME, your first month is totally free. Get the Ava app and use our promo code CRIME so they know you heard it from us. And get your first month with Ava for free. That's promo code CRIME. And thanks to Ava. And now go get yourself good credit. So I have the fan pick this week. And yikes. Not, maybe not quite as twisty and turny as murdering the great Versace, but definitely a rage-inducing case as well.
Well, as long as it's a Minnesotan murderer, I'd say
it is.
Hit the nail on the head.
It is. Wisconsin definitely overshadows us in the serial killer department, which is a race we will gladly lose, but That does not mean that we don't breed our own crop of monsters. And the one I'm covering today, per our fan picker, is Joseph Donald Tour Jr. It might be Toure, but he's white and I'm just turd. So Tour is an American serial killer. He's a serial rapist. He's a mass murderer, and he is a kidnapper who is alive and currently serving 6 life sentences at MCF Stillwater in Bayport, Minnesota. His convictions are for 6 murders, though investigators believe there could be more victims, and I agree.
My God.
So let's back up and go over all of this, shall we?
Okay.
Joseph Donald Tour Jr. was born on February 7th, 1951 in St. Paul, Minnesota. His childhood was marked by instability, though I didn't see anything that really clarified exactly what that meant. What I know for sure, his parents divorced when he was 10, and his father won custody, but he was primarily raised in an orphanage and a reformatory. So I don't know what was happening in their household, but for a father to get custody, full custody in the 60s, there must have been something going on with the mom.
That probably wasn't the standard.
Right. And it would appear from him mostly being raised by like institutions that the father was not up to the job of full-time solo parenting. So that landed him in the care of third-party facilities. This kid, we can have empathy for him. He was not set up for success. That is for damn sure. He was 10, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's not great.
In his late teens, Tour joined the U.S. Marine Corps because the fucking, like, Army recruits will absolutely be a bright, shiny possibility for incredibly vulnerable people. But his tenure lasted only about 6 months. He then returned to the St. Paul area where he held many skilled labor jobs, often related to cars. And I want to flag that articles refer to these as low-skilled jobs. But I say, fuck that. A skill is a skill. And I resent that classist language, so I changed it.
Good. Good for
Thank you. Yeah, fuck
Also,
that shit.
Any job that's not done by a fucking robot is
skilled labor.
Completely valid. And
yes. He struggled financially. He was very low income. He spent periods on and off unhoused and living in his car. He was not doing well. While we can be confident that there were signs of violent behavior in him that went unreported or simply cast aside by authorities, which we'll get to it, his documented string of violence spanned 2 brutal years.
Oh.
The terror began on the morning of December 15th, 1978 in Clearwater, Minnesota. Tour entered the home of 36-year-old Alice Hewling. He fatally shot Alice, who was found clinging to life with a gunshot wound to the right side of her head.
Oh, my God.
So he shoots her. He goes upstairs and shoots and kills 3 of her children in their beds.
Oh.
Her 16-year-old daughter, Susan, her 12-year-old daughter, Patty, and her 13-year-old son, Wayne.
Oh, my God.
So Alice was found alive, but she succumbed to her injuries in the hospital. She didn't make it. She has a 4th child, 11-year-old William Hewling, who managed to survive in his bedroom. It's like, I read a little bit of an interview that he gave. He was this little 11-year-old kid. He heard the bangs. He went into his bed and covered himself with the covers. Allegedly, this guy shot at the bed, but like missed him. And he was like, I'm just going to hide here. I'm just going to stay here. And eventually Tour just left. Oh. And this little boy survived and went to a neighbor's house and told them what happened. And then the police came.
He probably lost track of how many children he'd just murdered.
Could have.
Missed one.
From CBS News, quote, "My brother said, 'Who are you?' Bill remembered. The person raised the gun up toward him and shot. And at that point, I became very scared and just pulled the covers over my head and lay in bed."
Oh, baby.
It's so fucking sad.
So sad.
It's my understanding that Alice was raising the children on her own and their father was not in the home. I literally couldn't find like anything about their dad. Just 4 days after this brutal family slaying, Tour was arrested nearby at a travel station, but not for the murder of this entire fucking family, for driving a stolen vehicle. When law enforcement...
It's always the cars.
It's always the cars, girl. When law enforcement searched the vehicle, they found a ski mask, a metal bar, a toy car, and a list of nearly 200 women, mostly waitresses, along with detailed information and descriptions of where they worked and what they wore.
Oh my God. Ick.
Despite, I literally wrote, gestures wildly, all of this, he was released. He got like a slap on the wrist for stealing a car. He was not connected to the Hewling murders at that time, and he was free to go.
That reminds me of the ER show, the new ER. Noah Wiley.
The Pit?
The Pit.
Oh,
that kid with the list of women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
but
like
it
an
turned out he
ethical
wasn't
dilemma.
the shooter. But yeah.
Well, if they're don't have a list of
Oh, no.
That is
that
so-
kid needed help and intervention. Just because he wasn't the shooter of that mass shooting does not mean that that's not indicative of future violence. Like,
Not at all.
don't get me wrong.
I'm saying that like moral dilemma that they had, whether they should call the cops or not.
Right.
Report it.
Yes.
To somebody.
Absolutely. I mean, not that the cops will do fuck all because they found this list and went weird. Anyway, bye.
Yeah.
It's just, it's an impossible fucking situation.
It's one of those things where like you're not breaking the law until you do something really horrendous.
Well, yeah,
but there
because-
have to be mitigating steps in there somehow.
Yeah, our justice system is a response. It is not built and apparently not open whatsoever for prevention.
Mm-hmm.
This is very clear.
Yeah.
And so many people die because of it. And I will fucking die mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Tour's crimes continued through the following 2 years, often targeting young women working in restaurants. On May 8th, 1979, he killed 18-year-old college student Marlis Ann Wollenhaus. Tour broke into her Afton home and waited for her to return from school. When she arrived, he attacked, sexually assaulted, and viciously beat her to death with a blunt instrument, described in court documents as either a hammer, crowbar, or hatchet. The instrument itself had never been found. Her own mother later discovered her body.
Okay.
Yeah, so now he's killed at least 4 or 5 people. 3 kids.
3 kids, the mom.
A mom.
This is number 5.
This is now number 5. Yep.
Someone being in your home.
I can't. Waiting for you to fucking come home. No.
This is really
It's too
brutal.
much. It's too much.
Catherine K.
Catherine. Around this time and into 1980, Tour was involved in multiple sexual assaults, literally snatching, kidnapping women off the streets of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Most of them were waitresses, and he would like follow them after work when they're like walking to their cars.
Well, if he'd been stalking them, knew what they wore, knew what time they worked, all that shit.
Yep.
Ugh. Do they know that these were women who were on his list? Not that it matters. I'm just kind of curious.
I'm unsure because it's like, yeah, we found the list in the stolen car, but then they let him go. So I think that list only exists as this is what we found in the car and not we still have the list. And then I don't hear about the list again afterwards. So he might have been like,
Just like a line item.
maybe I should ditch the list. That almost got me in trouble. You know, who knows? But I would venture to guess, yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so 2 women reported that he abducted them at knife point before sexually assaulting them in his vehicle. So he would snatch them up, pull them into his car, drive to a remote location with a knife to their fucking neck, rape them, and then let them go. I mean, thank God. But what a fucking silver lining. At least they're not dead. Like, I can't even imagine going through something so violent and horrific. Another woman was able to escape his grip by fighting him off and fleeing his car. Good for her. Tour was later convicted in April 1981 of the kidnapping and rape of a 13-year-old girl and an 18-year-old teen. And the attempted kidnapping and rape of a 20-year-old woman who escaped by burning his face with a lit cigarette.
Oh.
Fuck yeah. I know. I love her.
And then he's like scarred too.
Yeah.
Or at least, burned.
So, yeah, I mean, I just want to like give the space to rant here because this motherfucker attacked so many women and children who, again, by the grace of God, survived to tell their stories in some cases. And he was still walking free to continue terrorizing these communities. And folks, still have the audacity to question why specifically female survivors of violent sexual assault or any kind of violent assault will choose not to report it.
Also, the fact that he seemingly escalated from 0 to 1 billion, murdering a whole family. Yeah. The thought of him not having done anything violent before, just because we don't know about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he definitely did. His final known victim during that 2-year span was 19-year-old Diane Edwards, a University of Minnesota student. On September 26th, 1980, which is 45 years ago, almost to the day that we are recording this, which gave me fucking chills when I was writing this earlier. I know.
Sick.
Edwards was abducted while walking home from her job as a server at Perkins restaurant in West St. Paul. There were a lot of Perkins locations. We loved Perkins.
Love Perkins.
We have so many great memories there. It was a 24-hour. It didn't sell any alcohol. So like anybody of any age could be in there at all hours of the day and night. And we fucking were.
Jessica would pick, if we had a big French test, she'd pick me up at 5:30 in the morning, and we'd go to Perkins and study all morning and have breakfast.
They would leave the whole coffee pot at your table. When I used to go to take classes at like a local community college, I would do the exact same thing. I would study like all night at a Perkins, get like one thing of pancakes, and then they would just bring me a pot of coffee. It was like the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, not even Perkins is fucking safe. 4 teenage girls witnessed Diane's abduction, and they saw a man with shoulder-length, light-colored hair force Diane Edwards into his rusted-out, dark-colored station wagon. It was like a pretty identifiable car because of the rust and the color and like the style of vehicle that it was.
Yeah.
Diane did not survive the attack, and her body was discovered on October 9th, 1980, in a remote area near Elk River. Her body was found naked, lying face down in a ditch with her clothing neatly folded beside her. She had died from blood loss, and that blood loss was from stab wounds mostly in her chest, inflicted by a single-bladed instrument. That's what they could determine, probably a knife, but they didn't find a murder weapon, so it's like, yeah, it was probably a knife, but we don't know what. It could have been a knife that he crafted. We don't know, but she was stabbed to death. Investigators noted that the way Edwards was abducted, like forced into a vehicle and taken away, fit Tour's known tactics from all these other assaults that he had been accused of. Which is like so weird. It's almost like they should have taken this more seriously and gotten this man off the fucking street or something. I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
His initial arrest for the string of kidnappings and sexual assaults in October of 1980 is what landed him behind bars. So he wasn't arrested initially for Diane's murder. He was arrested because women and children that he had kidnapped and assaulted survived to turn him in. So he's locked up for the string of kidnappings. While he's in custody for these crimes, investigators began considering him for unsolved murder cases, including that of Diane and the Hewling family.
Oh, that whole family's murder ew. They didn't even know.
No.
Ew.
So the investigation and trials unfolded over 2 fucking decades.
Why?
For some of these victims to find justice.
Oh,
Girl, we're going to get to it. Here is the timeline rundown. So first, we're going to start with the Diane Edwards conviction. This was in 1981. Based on the fact that the known suspect matched Tour's description and vehicle type, Tour was charged with Edwards' murder. Because again, multiple people saw him put her in a car, saw someone put her in a car. The description of the person they saw and the description of the car was him. It matched him. While in custody, he even confessed to abducting, raping, and murdering her, a confession that he only made in the hopes of receiving a reduced sentence.
no.
The jury rejected that. They were like, no, you're gonna face the full extent of the law. And by December 1981, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. He also tried to walk back his confession during trial, referring to the recordings as those, quote, bullshit tapes, which, like, okay, buddy, good luck with that. A key witness in this case, this was really interesting, and so I thought I would include it. A key witness in this case was a woman named Tommy Willems, who had been forced off the road near Thompson and Oakdale in West St. Paul by an older model, dark brown, rusty-ass station wagon just minutes before Diane Edwards was abducted a few blocks away. And all of this is in the vicinity of the Perkins.
Oh, minutes before.
Minutes.
He was just driving around seeing whoever he could get.
No, I think he was driving around prowling, waiting for Diane to be done with her shift and away from the restaurant so he could abduct her. And came in contact with Tommy Willems in that time.
When you said she'd been forced off the road.
So Tommy, this gal, was forced off the road by him like minutes before he abducted Edwards. I don't know if he thought maybe he could get a twofer that night.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like he was trying to force her off the road for her to get out of her car so he could snatch her.
Oh, that's true. No, you're right. Okay, so yes, that he was in the vicinity because he was already gonna grab Edwards. But yeah, I guess he probably was trying to do, a BOGO.
Yeah.
So the driver of the station wagon, according to her testimony, rear-ended her, just like lightly, and then attempted to open her locked passenger door.
Ew.
And then was circling the car and trying to get in before just driving away because another car was approaching.
Ew. Yeah, it totally would have been her.
Mm-hmm. So the day after Ms. Willems testified at trial, the state's attorney informed the defense that she had been hypnotized by a psychologist in early October 1980 at the request of local police and FBI. They had wanted her to undergo hypnosis because she could give a basic description of the man that had run her off the road and tried to get into her car. But they wanted more, quote, precise details about the man and the vehicle that were involved in the incident. So the trial judge later reviewed videotapes of these hypnotic sessions, which were conducted on October 1st and 2nd of 1980. And Tour's defense counsel immediately moved for a mistrial because they were arguing that Miss Willems' testimony was inadmissible because it had been hypnotically induced. And that's usually kind of a slam dunk in Minnesota because the Minnesota Supreme Court, which reviewed the case in 1984, did address the admissibility of this testimony by referencing its prior rulings on hypnosis in criminal cases. The court had consistent...
How many could there possibly be?
There's actually a decent amount of cases of hypnosis being recommended for witness testimony. At least enough that there were at least two cases. I didn't go into these cases, but there were at least two that the Minnesota Supreme Court consistently references as their precedent for saying, hold up, we don't usually find testimony that has anything to do with hypnosis admissible in court. So the Supreme Court in Minnesota has consistently adhered to a rule of general inadmissibility of hypnotically induced testimony in criminal cases, warning investigators and prosecutors that its use, quote, invites reversal, of charges or of, cases. The rule states that a witness whose memory had been, quote, revived under hypnosis ordinarily must not be permitted to testify to matters, quote, remembered under hypnosis. However, the court permitted Ms. Willems' testimony to stand based on the following findings. So they're looking into all of this. They're like, okay, yeah, normally we'd go, nah, we're not fucking with hypnosis, but we're going to look at the tapes. We're going to look at the consistency of all of her testimony, and we're going to determine if it's admissible with or without the element of hypnosis, basically. So after reviewing the tapes, the trial judge found no material differences between Ms. Willems' statements given before or after hypnosis. She was saying the same, sticking to her story the same way before she underwent hypnosis as she did after. Her post-hypnotic testimony was deemed, quote, strikingly similar to her pre-hypnotic memory. The hypnosis did not cause her to go, yes, it was definitely him. It did not cause her to remember all these, gushing details about the car or the suspect, whatever. She remembered the same shit after hypnosis. So the judge was like, nah, this didn't change anything. The trial judge concluded that the testimony was not incriminating in the extreme in light of Tour's own admissions. He had already confessed to this crime. Furthermore, Miss Willems never positively identified him specifically as the driver. She simply provided descriptions that matched his appearance at the time.
I don't see an issue with this.
Exactly. That's why it's what she said isn't even incriminating or specifically saying that it was you. She just kept giving the same story. It was this car. It was a guy who looked like this. Sorry that you match all of those fucking things. That's not her fault. That doesn't mean she's a liar. So the court determined that the differences in her testimony, again, before and after hypnosis, of his appearance, and also considering the fact that he had already confessed, it was all, quote, slight to non-existent. And since the testimony was not prejudicial, as they would say, it wasn't saying, yes, it was Tour, her testimony was allowed. So although the court did not formally adopt the safeguards for hypnosis in this case, it did note that in this case, the hypnosis safeguards designed to minimize the possibility of suggestibility were scrupulously observed. So like they did everything by the book. Nothing shady happened here. This testimony is totally fine. So ultimately, the judge ruled the testimony was admissible and also found the prosecutor violated Minnesota rules of criminal procedure by failing to disclose to the defense counsel that Miss Willems had been hypnotized until after she'd already testified, which is fucked up. Like, she does her testimony and then it's 2 days later and they're like, oh, wait.
Just
Also,
so
we forgot
know.
to mention she was hypnotized a little bit ago.
Yeah, because it was the prosecutor that brought that up in the first place.
Exactly. Well, because I think it's the prosecutor being like, oh, fuck, I was supposed to disclose this and I totally forgot. So the court censured the prosecutor for violating the, quote, letter and spirit of the disclosure rules, but concluded, once again, that this violation did not warrant a new trial because the testimony was ultimately unchanged and deemed non-prejudicial. The defense counsel was offered a further opportunity to cross-examine Miss Willems, but they chose not to take advantage of it because, like, be real, they knew they were cooked. And this was a Hail Mary that did not pay off. Okay, so back to the timeline. That's what went down during the Diane Edwards case. Now we're getting into the Hewling case, the family, and the Woolen House case, that young student whose mom found her body. He waited for her to come home from school. While awaiting trial for the Edwards case in 1981, Tour also signed written confessions for both the Woolen House and Hewling family murders. Law enforcement received copies of these confessions, but Tour was not pursued on the Hewling case beyond initial questioning. In the Woolen House case, Tour was ruled out because officials believed that he had an alibi. They concluded that he was working at the time of her murder. My theory, based solely on doing this fucking podcast for 8 fucking years and reading shit like this time and time again, is that the state, we know, will forego spending the time and resources on additional linked crimes because they already got the suspect behind bars for life for another murder. So why fucking bother? It isn't like these victims and their families deserve justice or anything. A confession is obviously not enough. They would have to actually spend the time and like resources investigating
collect the
it.
evidence
And moves like this are a fucking slap in the face to victims and their families, and basically say, you know, this is the state saying, like, y'all aren't worth the money and energy for a deeper look. He's already behind bars. We've got these confessions, sure, but we're not going to follow up on them. We're done.
Your daughter's murder will remain officially unsolved.
So years later, a Bureau of Criminal Apprehension cold case review revealed a critical error, because it always fucking does. Investigators had mistakenly checked the work schedule of Joseph Tour's father. He's a junior. They share the same name.
Oh my God.
Joseph Tour Jr. was, in fact, not working the day that Ms. Woolenhouse was murdered.
Oh my God.
So that ironclad alibi that they were like, no. He didn't do this. It was his fucking dad.
To it. Did he even work at the place where his dad worked?
Possibly. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I didn't even stop to like look deeper at that because I was so fucking mad.
Because it's so fucking dumb.
And it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether or not they both worked at the same place. They fucked this up so bad. They didn't do their due diligence. Period. Full stop. So he's convicted in 1998 for the Woolen House murder. After the discovery of this false alibi, he was not charged until 1996. He was convicted in 1998 for the murder of Marlis Woolenhouse, nearly 2 decades after receiving his life sentence for the Diane Edwards murder and after murdering her. Like, it took fucking 20 years for them to get justice for their child's murder. He received another life sentence for the murder of Marlis Woolenhouse, which, like, is great, but the pain inflicted by the state on that family for fucking this up so bad cannot be measured. And oh yeah, at this point, still no conviction for the Hewling family.
Yes.
Until
the mother and 3 young children.
Yeah, with a single surviving brother, like son. It's just so sad. So the Hewling conviction finally came down in 2000.
Oh my God.
Tour was finally charged for the Hewling murders in 1999. His conviction came in 2000 following another BCA cold case review that revealed evidence pointing to him. Critical evidence included the testimony of the surviving son, William Hewling, Little Bill, who testified that the toy car found in Tour's possession only 4 days after the murders was his.
Ew.
I know. Tour had pocketed it as some kind of fucked up trophy.
Yuck.
They saw it in the car. That and the list of the 200 women and went, weird.
And the ski mask and the pipe.
And went, oh, you stole a car. That's bad.
Jesus.
Spend these 2 nights in jail, pay this fine, get the fuck out of here. So that he could go on to murder at least 2 more people, rape a lot of fucking young girls and young women.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. The toy car. I can't. Tour had pocketed it as some kind of fucked up trophy. Okay, so the BCA also found a confession letter that Tour had his cellmate write in 1981. It's my understanding that Tour may have struggled with literacy, hence the need for assistance from his cellmate. The letter said Tour went to the Hewling home because he was angry at Alice Hewling, the mom, because they had interacted at some point prior and he had seen her and her children, and she wouldn't let him date her 12-year-old daughter, Patty, who he ended up murdering. So that's why he showed up at her house. Yeah, in the confession that he had his cellmate write. But the answer to the question of why the fuck did you go to her house in the first place was, well, I was mad that she wouldn't let me date her 12-year-old daughter, so I came to just murder all of them.
Oh my God.
So he was convicted.
So demented.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So he was convicted on 4 counts of first-degree murder in January of 2000, resulting in 4 additional life sentences for the Hewling family. Joseph Tour was convicted of killing 3 adults and 3 children from 1978 to 1980. He is currently serving 6 life sentences in total, and despite his numerous convictions, investigators still believe that there are likely more victims associated with Joseph Tour Jr., and I fully fucking agree with that.
Yeah.
So like you said, the escalation, there was definitely other shit. The most prominent unsolved case linked to him is the disappearance and death of Joan Marie Biersbach. Joan was 20 years old when she was reported missing on November 5th, 1979. Her remains were discovered near Monticello in 1984, 5 years after her disappearance. In 1998, Tour became the main suspect in her case. A witness claimed they saw a man and a woman fitting Joan and Tour's descriptions having a conversation at a Perkins restaurant where her vehicle had later been found. Furthermore, a fellow inmate claimed that Tour confessed to killing Joan, alleging he waited for her to leave Perkins, forced her into his vehicle, stabbed her, and drove her to Monticello.
Jesus.
However, Joan's case remains unsolved and Tour was never charged. Tour has been imprisoned since September 23rd, 1981. He continues to maintain his innocence in all of the murder cases, claiming that investigators used him to solve cold cases. But evidence of his broader pattern of violence emerged after his incarceration. In the mid-1990s...
But wait, there's more.
This fucking guy, while maintaining his innocence, could not stay out of the spotlight. He appeared on the documentary series 48 Hours to profess his innocence.
Don't let people like that.
Well, normally I do agree with you. However, because he was given this platform on this very popular series, after it aired, dozens of young women contacted the program, claiming to recognize him as a man who had sexually assaulted them in the 70s. So these women that are now in their 20s, 30s, 40s saw him on this show in the 90s and came up and said, that guy raped me. That guy violently assaulted me.
Dozens.
It was noted that most of these victims had worked as waitresses, reinforcing the belief that Tour had stalked them for weeks leading up to the assaults.
Ugh.
So yeah, he remains incarcerated with his history providing a fucking clear example of how cold case reviews decades later are so necessary.
Yeah.
And how shoddy police work in going, we got him. We're not going to look at all this other shit is so fucking dangerous because not only does it not provide closure for the families of the people we know he harmed, it gives all of these other victims no opportunity to come out of the woodwork and go, hold up, that fucking guy tried to do this shit to me. And even though people have come forward, the state still has been like, well, he's behind bars. What's the point in us adding these charges? The
what
point
else do you want from us?
That we're taking these women seriously and that even if it is just a pile-on, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because then the next time you find a guy in a stolen car with a list of 200 waitresses, maybe we can take that seriously and then maybe women like Diane would still be alive. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because he killed her after he was caught with the stolen car, after he was caught with the list, after he was caught with little Billy's fucking toy car.
Yeah.
After he murdered Bill's family, all of that after.
And also, how many times have we seen like someone who was convicted for like one thing but not these others because they just let that slide? Well, then that one thing gets overturned or you're released for some bullshit and you don't have that other stuff on your record. Not saying that this guy had any chance of getting out of prison.
No,
but
there's no way he'll ever get out of prison. But just because he won't doesn't mean other people won't. Because these histories of violence were not taken seriously. Evidence that was seen and reported was not taken seriously. Yeah, it would surprise me zero if we found other bodies.
Oh, he's awful looking.
If other bodies had already been found that he could be linked to, but the state is just like, meh. Yeah, he's foul.
He looks like a rubber mask.
I know. Yeah. I know. You know what? It's crazy that you say that because his more current picture reminded me of the mask that fucking Vance guy wore to murder the Hortmans in Minnesota, the political assassination.
I don't know what mask he was wearing.
Oh, dude, he was approached by law enforcement and he was wearing this mask when he
one of those crazy rubber masks that
that covers your whole head. It's like a bald white man.
I knew that he had come into contact with the cops, but I just thought he was wearing a cop outfit.
No. I mean, it was more than that. He was like in Ring doorbell footage or like door footage of him like at a front door wearing. Did you see it?
Oh, yuck. Ew.
Bro. Yeah. Yeah. But, Charlie Kirk is the one that we really need to have a huge fucking Nazi memorial. I mean, of course we did have a Nazi rally for Charlie Kirk, but the one we need to have a huge fucking memorial for, the one we need to have a fucking day of remembrance for, the one we need to have all over the fucking media, not a literal politician and her fucking husband and dog. Everything's fine. We're not in an absolutely insane white supremacist delusion reality.
There's very little I can cling to at this point.
No.
Take your meds, release the files.
Demand the files. And you know what? If they don't release the files, believe the women that have already said, fine.
We already fucking know.
If they won't put them out there, we're going to name names. Then it is our fucking responsibility as Americans to believe those women and believe every single fucking name that they end up putting out there. Because as we record this, there's allegedly going to be another Epstein release the files vote tomorrow that they allegedly have the votes to actually put out. I hope I end up eating my own words.
With the rapture.
Alongside the rapture.
Yeah.
When I say I'll fucking believe it when I see it, I really hope that I see it so that I can fucking believe it. But at this point, I personally, not on like a systemic level, of course I care, but like I will believe these fucking women. Whoever they name. And I won't need a goddamn...
With aplomb.
I won't need more than their word. Because we already fucking know.
We already know.
So anyway,
a lot is going to happen between this moment that we're recording and when you people listen to it.
This.
You might all be raptured.
God
Probably
knows.
not because you listen to our show.
Right. No.
You don't have a chance.
We'll
all be
here. will be here. Although I will say we have a better chance of being raised up to the heavenly gates than any of these fucking Looney Tunes who are out here claiming that the rapture is going to happen. Those motherfuckers are going to hell. You Nazi simp bitches are going to fucking hell. So have fun.
You're currently painting with a wide brush, but I think, you know what? Just let off the steam.
Why shouldn't I paint with a wide brush? These fuckers do. Fuck those assholes. Fuck those rapture turds.
All right. Thank you so much to Catherine K.
They're going to hell. I'm so sweaty.
Yeah.
I, because of being home for COVID, have not had the space to interact with anyone in a while, and it shows.
FaceTime me anytime.
I know, but it's not quite the same.
No.
So I'm sorry, but I'm not. And I stand by what I said. And I love you, Catherine. Thank you so much for being a fan picker.
I love you, Catherine.
I love you, Cat. Oh my God, I'm dripping in sweat. I have to go. I love you so much. Thank you for listening.
Bathe.
Please join Uncorked. I clearly need medical care. And I cannot afford it.
Go to Ireland. You can take an ambulance for free.
I'm begging. Literally begging for Lucy, you're literally begging for money on the street. When I had almost €1 in coins, I was like, all right, who's going to give me 30?
Both your hands up.
30.3 euro.
I need 30 cents.
Lucy goes, you're literally begging for money on the for coins on the street.
You were like crouching on the side of a busy sidewalk.
Look at yourself. It's raining.
Let's take a step back. Yeah, it was right. You were wet.
I'd do it again.
Ireland was great. All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Take your meds, Amanda.
I did. That's the problem.
Oh no.
I need more.
Call your primary care, your PCP.
I'll do that tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos, sources, and other resources, head to wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, check out our premium channel at wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked. Cheers!